And the Vincent O'Brien County Hurdle is up next here at Cheltenham. It is race 2. It boasts a huge field. Very difficult to pick the winner, as it has been of all the handicaps this week, more of which in a moment. AP McCoy won it last year on Alderwood, who runs later today. Several important jockey changes here. Declan Lavery now rides number 2 Midnight Game, replacing Davy Russell. David Casey rides the Fancy Tennis Cap, replacing Paul Townend, who's injured. And David Casey, in turn, is replaced by Katie Walsh, sister of Ruby, on number 16, Abbey Lane. So could she continue the dreamy week for the Walshes? Ruby Walsh's contribution on the racecourse has been magnificent. Likewise, his father Ted's to our broadcast in the morning and the afternoon. Can Katie ride another Cheltenham Festival winner here on Abbey Lane? Cotton Mill, who was second to My Tent or Yours in the Betfair Hurdle at Newbury, the 8-to-1 favourite. Alofi, 20-to-1, fancied by some, won the Greatwood Hurdle here, prestigious race back in November. Tennis Cap looks one of the best of the Irish, most progressive for Willie Mullins, looking for his 6th win of the week. David Pipe runs Tanako Emery. He's had a quiet week by his standards. Jason Maguire has been booked for the ride. Punjabi, a past champion hurdle winner, slipping down to a dangerous mark, the horse that relaunched Barry Geraghty's career, as you heard yesterday. Abbey Lane, of course, is now the mount of Katie Walsh. Katie Walsh will ride Abbey Lane. She, of course, won the 4-miler on Poker de Civilla a couple of years ago. Tony McCoy rides Princeton Plains here for Eddie Harty. If and but why not, the big hope for the North. It hasn't been as good a meeting for the North of England as it was last year, but David O'Meara trains If and but why not, and a big player here. Likewise, Ted Veale for Tony Martin, successful with Beneficent yesterday, and Brian Cooper, the man of the moment, is the man in the saddle. And Colin Tizard's looking for his 3rd winner of the week, trainer of King's Lad, ridden by Brendan Powell, successful on the first day with Golden Chieftain.
Well, the punters want their pockets replenished and they're fighting to get on in the betting ring. Cotton Mill, the favourite at the moment, at 8-to-1. His form line in the Betfair Hurdle between My Tent or Yours is the reason why they're backing him. Then at 9-to-1 and closing in on Cotton Mill's favouritism all the time is Ted Veale and If But and Why Not. They're both come in from the 10-to-1 mark. On 12, Ranjan. Now, Ruby Walsh has ridden 4 of the last 9 county hurdle winners, so people focusing in on him. Tanako Emery, a 3rd in the Welsh champion hurdle. Well, Medina strengthened that form in the Coral Cup. He's into 12-to-1. On 14-to-1, Tennis Cap and Princetown Plains, who's price-wise. Another mover on the exchanges is Shadowcatcher. 20s into 16s, and it's 20-to-1 bar those, but very close to the top now. Cotton Mill 8, If But Why Not 9, and Ted Veale, I wonder who will start favourite.
Now, plenty of people in their youth get caught at the Cheltenham Festival when they should be at school, Bruff Scott being a famous example. But the lady next to me, Ella McNeil, has special permission to be here. Why?
Well, I just love racing, and my headmistress has said it's all right for me to come, so it's a great opportunity.
So what are you meant to be in right now? Double chemistry or something?
Double French. Even worse.
Now, what's the horse that your family are associated with?
Alofi.
And what chance has Alofi got?
He's got a great chance. The rain will really help him here, and if he jumps, he'll be fine. He should come in top 3, hopefully.
Now, one of the reasons your headmistress has let you be here is not just to support the horse, it's because ultimately you want to work in racing. What do you want to do?
I love to train horses when I'm older. It'd just be the ultimate job.
Well, hopefully one day I'll be interviewing you here as a trainer. That would be good, wouldn't it?
I hope so.
Good luck with Alofi.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Alofi, of course, trained by Tom George, local trainer. He hasn't had a winner at the Cheltenham Festival since 2002, when Galileo won the Royal and Sun Alliance hurdle. Paddy Brennan taking the ride on.
Frankelstein.
Not Frankelstein, Galileo. No, the Polish St Leger winner. Here's Cotton Mill. He's got a pretty good pedigree too. Trained by John Ferguson, ridden by Dennis O'Regan. Big player.
As long as he doesn't repeat last year's antics, Graham.
Yeah, he crashed out at the second last coming down the hill behind Simmonsing and the Neptune. He was good first time out this season. He ran into a very well-handicapped horse, My Tent or Yours at Newbury.
I'll stick with you, Graham, for If and But Why Not.
Yeah, favourite of mine. He's a high cruiser, a really quick jumper. He's got Cheltenham form, he's got soft ground form. He's got a lot going for him, Nick.
David O'Meara, upwardly mobile trainer. Tanako Emery seeking to give David Pipe his 1st winner of the week, Jim.
Yeah, it turned out very quickly, ran a blinder at Sandown at the weekend in very gruelling conditions. Presumably they think he's A1 or he wouldn't be here, and he's got the ground that suits.
And Jason Maguire takes the ride. Looks in really good nick too. Now, Mick Fitzgerald is quite keen on the chances of number 4, Hissabar, past championship form brought into this race. He ran really well in last year's Triumph Hurdle.
Second in the Triumph, travelling really sweetly. Moderate on his last 2 runs. Very, very heavy ground, might not be ideal. He doesn't look to be enjoying the rain there, lads.
No.
One point about him, the only time he didn't wear blinkers in his last 6 starts was when he won the Triumph, because they were left off in L.
When he was second in the Triumph.
Oh, second in the Triumph, sorry.
Interesting to see whether they have the desired effect. He'd be ridden by Micheál Nolan, a promising conditional race with Philip Hobbs. Graham.
One quick point, though, on a broader issue. These numbers, Nick, 14, 16, 25, 25, 28, 33, 50. Not the number of glasses of wine you've had after racing each
And
week.
they're not my lottery numbers, because you repeated 25.
They are the prices. The SPs are the winners of the handicaps this season. 7 of them, big, big prices. So you need to spread your net widely here.
Cotton Mill is poking his cross-nose-banded head into shot. Black colours there for John Ferguson, Sheikh Mohammed's bloodstock advisor, who's now training national hunt horses as well with considerable success. And he was extremely well fancied for the Betfair Hurdle at Newbury. Ran into one of the most well-handicapped horses in training in My Tent or Yours, who was second, of course, in the Supreme on Tuesday. It was his seasonal debut, Jim, and he performed very creditably.
Yeah, he's undoubtedly a talented horse. This is the Betfair Hurdle. He plugs on valiantly, as everything did in My Tent or Yours' wake. I mean, the quote earlier in the week was, "We are very confident," from a source close to the stable.
And why shouldn't they be?
He came out of the Champion Hurdle to run. Well, I just think that the circumstances of what happened last year and a big field, you couldn't be confident about this, Graham, could you?
He's also gone up in the weights for being beaten. He was beaten by a hell of a good novice, in my opinion, with some smart horses, banging form horses behind him. But no, you could never be super confident in a race like this.
And now for a quick break with Paddy Power. Richard Hall wrote, "Not taking any chances at Cheltenham. Until I see the horse, I don't bet a penny, Paddy." Well, we hear you, Richard. So let's have a closer look for you. Well, the biggest race of Cheltenham. Oh, he's going to have to get him to settle, and settle quickly. Yeah. Well, not to worry, Richard. For Gold Cup Day at Cheltenham, Paddy Power are paying 5 places on the county hurdle and 4 places in the Fox Hunter Chase. Pretty impressive. We hear you, Dickie.
The Cheltenham Festival not only crowns champions, it heralds the rise of future champions, and this is one such young man, Brian Cooper. He won our previous race, of course, on our Connor. He was dashing and swashbuckling yesterday on Beneficent. He was as cool as a cucumber on the morning line this morning, and he rides Ted Veale here for Tony Martin, whose team are in great form. Could be 3. Could be 3 for Sleepy Cooper.
This is a very interesting horse, Graham. Lightly raced, good form on the ground, 3rd in a big handicap hurdle in Ireland last time. The credentials you want for this race.
Yeah, tremendous advert for the power nap, Brian Cooper. 5 hurdles runs, 2nd at Navan was excellent, 3rd at Leopardstown was even better behind Abbey Lane. He's on the upgrade, and it's Tony Martin, Brian Cooper. It looks a potent combination.
Now, Claire, yesterday, Mick Fitzgerald tipped as Beneficent from the Tony Martin yard. Does he fancy this horse, Ted Veale, here from the same stable, I wonder?
I will ask him that very question, or indeed, if he doesn't fancy Ted Veale, what else might it be? Could it be Punjabi, a horse that you actually used to ride?
Yeah, he's dropped an awful lot in the weight. It's Punjabi, and I'm just not sure that he's the force of old. That would be a little bit of a concern for me. Hisabat, I do like him, you know, and I had a word with Dermot Wells when he was there. He was looking for Micheál Nolan. He said, "I want to see what he looks like." He said, "I asked a jockey, I need a claimer. Who do you recommend?" They recommended Micheál Nolan, and that jockey was Ruby Walsh.
Really? Ted Walsh also standing here. Do you have a fancy for this race, Ted? You tipped our first winner very confidently.
I just think the Shadow Catcher won't be far away again. He won here the other day and he won really well. He got a few pounds penalty, but he came out of it well. I think he's a chance, Davy Condon, for Gordon Elliott.
Another one that I like is a horse called If and But Why Not. David O'Meara, a very good trainer. This horse has won here at Cheltenham, and I think that can count.
Remember last year's winner, Alderwood, ridden by Tony McCoy, was 20 to 1. It's round about that price range. I suspect the winner will come from again.
Tony McCoy rides Princeton Plains today for Eddie Harty. JP McManus will have had his eye on this race, as he does all the Cheltenham handicaps very closely all season, trying to sort out his trainers to lay a few out. Have they done a good job with Princeton Plains, do you think?
Yeah, it's JP McManus and AP McCoy, but he needs to find something, Nick. 6th in the Ladbroke, 8th in the Betfair hurdles. They were solid efforts, but he was beaten 17 lengths and 16 lengths respectively. There he is.
Tony McCoy adopting what is often his customary position, down toward the inside fence. showing he means business ahead of this Vincent O'Brien County Hurdle. The starter is asking one or two of them to take one more turn, with Cotton Mill, the 8-1 joint favourite with If and But Why Not, 9-1 Ted Veale, 11-1 Tanako Emery. Hold on, there's one at the back, he's saying. Let's join Simon Holt.
Okay, come on.
Why not? Catching up with them at the back, and away they go then, with a furious 2 miles and a furlong ahead of them, with Tennis Cap in the red and white jacket into an early lead over Hissabart and Kian's Delight and King's Lad and Knight in purple in the orange sleeves on the near side, and they are tracked by Cotton Mill, followed by Dan Breen, and then It's a Gimme as they race through the early stage. There's Cotton Mill in the black jacket, near side in the noseband Dan Breen, then It's a Gimme, far side maroon cap Loffy, near side in the maroon, very sweaty Midnight Game, followed by Princeton Plains, McCoy in the white cap, Ronaldo de Mont and Clark's Choice, and then towards the rear Ranjar with Discoteca, and Starluck is another grey further back, and Claret Cloak is also towards the rear of the field. Last of all is Bram Poor, and last but one is If and But Why Not, and Tanako Emery is also towards the back with Edgardo Sol. Over the second, Tennis Cap by a couple of lengths to King's Lad in second. Then Kian's Delight on the inside of Knight in purple. Hissabart is fifth, then Cotton Mill, and It's a Gimme and Dan Breen. Loffy is next in the field from Midnight Game and Clark's Choice. Out wide Il Fenomeno, wide then of Ronaldo de Mont, and then up the inside Princeton Plains. They're followed by Caravel and Ranjan with Discoteca on the wide outside. Many Rivers to Cross is hugging the inside rail just ahead of the former champion hurdler Punjabi. Edgardo Sol and Tanako Emery, and then Shadow Catcher from Ted Veale and Brian Cooper, only about 5 or 6 from the end, followed by Starluck, Claret Cloak, If and But Why Not, Abbey Lane, and Bram Poor is last of all as they stream over flight number 3. And it's Tennis Cap for the Willie Mullins team, David Casey in the saddle, and Mullins, the Mullins clan have dominated this race in recent years. King's Lad is close up in second, Knight in purple on the far side of Dan Breen, and then Kian's Delight, and in the purple jacket on the near side is Hissabart. Cotton Mill remains well placed with a Loffy as they jump the next. Great jump by the leader, Tennis Cap. Less good was Hissabart there in a terrible muddle, sprawling on landing, and Mihal Nolan had to sit very tight indeed as now they turn left-handed and head towards 3 out. And it's Tennis Cap from King's Lad, Dan Breen, Knight in purple, then Kian's Delight together with Cotton Mill, It's a Gimme and O'Loffy on the outside. These are tracked by Princeton Plains, the inside of Ronaldo de Mont, and then Caravel. Il Fenomeno is out wide again, the leader very quick over that flight as they go up the hill, and it's Tennis Cap who's got a break off on them of about 3 lengths here to Dan Breen and King's Lad disputing second. Knight in purple is back in 4th place on the outside of It's a Gimme, then O'Loffy, Princeton Plains under the champion jockey round the inside of Il Fenomeno and Cotton Mill. They're followed by Ronaldo de Mont as now they prepare to run downhill towards 2 out. Well, can Tennis Cap remain in front here? Made all the running so far. It's a big ask in a county hurdle to make all. Dan Breen into second. O'Loffy making ground under a ride out wide of Knight in purple as they run down to 2 out. In behind them, It's a Gimme and Princeton Plains. Then Ronaldo de Mont. Some of the silks getting very mud splattered indeed. Claret Cloak, If and But Why Not, making ground on the extreme outside. The extreme left, still with ground to make up. Still Tennis Cap and David Casey, who's got the cleanest silks of all here as they run into the final turn. He's never been behind a horse. Tennis Cap leads them in from Dan Breen. Ted Veale coming through under Brian Cooper into second place, and Brian Cooper looking very stylish again as they race towards the final flight, and it's Tennis Cap by a couple of lengths. Ted Veale is after him in second place, then Dan Breen from Princeton Plains, If and But Why Not, O'Loffy, Many Rivers to Cross, and Shadow Catcher. Ted Veale is cruising up on the outside of Tennis Cap as they make the long run to the final flight. Tennis Cap is about to be joined by Ted Veale. They'll take it together. Ted Veale on the near side, full of running. Tennis Cap has run his race, one senses on the far side. Brian Cooper now goes for Ted Veale. This merciless hill is taking its toll. Ted Veale is tying up a little. Tennis Cap sticks to the task, but it's Brian Cooper with a memorable double in the first 2 races on Gold Cup Day. Ted Veale wins the county hurdle from Tennis Cap in second. Many Rivers to Cross in third. Tanako Emery might have been 4th. Shadow Catcher not far behind. Edgardo Sol, Clark's Choice, then Princeton Plains and If and But